Hi folks, this is activity of the CAD course, winter of 2026. It's the 7th week and this is the first activity and it deals with creating a design table for the geometry that you see here. I want to point out that I have done a design table over the years and there are tutorials for them available on my YouTube postings, but uh, keep in mind that some years I do it a different way. Okay, this year I will do it by renaming things and then creating the design table myself instead of me giving you a Excel spreadsheet and say, okay, go and create the part basically. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to create the design table as I will go along. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Now I'm doing this thing with Catia release 2021, which is about maybe 13, 14 years old. There may be very, very minor changes between what you have in the lab, which is right now, I believe, release 2023. Yeah, but you can do that. You can do that. If not, ask me question in the lab. So let me start with the part file. Let me start with the part file. And because we're going to be using surfaces, this problem is dealing with a surface. I'm going to start with a generative shape design. As soon as you say surface, it's going to be generative shape design. Okay. So let me first make I'll change my unit to inches. So we go to tools, options. Okay. So on the parameters and measure, on the units, I'm going to change this thing to inches and move on. I'll make a nominal part, so on that plane I will sketch something that will look like that. The only thing is that you might say, what dimension should I be using? It is probably a good idea to use one of these rows or something close to it as the nominal dimension, okay? So I'll use the 10, 5, 1, and 1 as my nominal dimension. So let's go ahead and make this thing. There are many ways of doing these things. It's entirely up to you as long as you get it to work the way we want it. So let me go ahead and make this some nominal part looking the way we want. Okay, I want to make this thing nice and symmetric. So left line, control right line, control the middle. Now keep in mind that you can go here. You can go here and say symmetry, cancel that, or you can right click and go and where is this? Let me redo this. Left control right, okay, and then dimension, right click. What is that thing? Symmetry, allow symmetry line there. Okay, notice that this is symmetric. Now listen, you do it any way you want. I want this line and that line to be symmetric with respect to this. And it is right now. If you don't believe it, let's do the other one. So this left line, control this right line, dimension, bring it down here, right click, allow symmetry line, and select this axis. There we are. You do it any way you want. For the past 4 or 5 weeks, most of the time I'll be using this constraint defining dialog box. You do it any way you want. Now let's dimension the things that we actually want to use. So let me go ahead and dimension this, which later on is going to be your X later on. Dimension that. Later on it's going to be your Y. Dimension this is going to be your T. And this dimension is going to be your R. Now, if you feel more comfortable, you can change these things to those dimensions that I said. You don't have to, but as long as you know it doesn't cause inconsistency, we can leave it. my suggestion is that try to change it to these right now, okay? But that's up to you. So this is going to be 10. This is going to be 5. Okay, this is going to be 1. And this is going to be 1. Okay, very good. So what you have here with these dimensions is precisely that fellow. Okay? All right. So exit. Now, because you want to put a surface on this, we have to go to, we have to in generative shape design, and we are. And as long as this is a nice closed curve, we can go and fill it. F-I-L-L. See that? F-I-L-L. Click. Select all the edges because it was already orange, it was already picked, and then we say okay. There we are. Okay, good. Excellent. So that takes care of the first part. Another first part meaning creating a nominal part, and we did. Now we're going to rename these dimensions. Remember, this year I'm doing it like that. I'm going to change these dimensions to those things, x, y, r, and t. So how do we do that? We go to f of x, okay? You select the part, all the dimensions that you have put in there are appearing there. So this thing, I want to call it x. I don't want this weird name. I want to call it big X. Okay? And that thing, say apply. This thing, I want it to be big Y. Apply. That I want it to be big R. Big R. And finally, this is going to be big T. And then apply. Now notice that I can filter this out by rename parameters. So these are the ones that I changed the name. Okay. Now we say okay. Here comes the step for creating a design table. So you go on this icon, which says design table right there. You can see that the one that has f of x in it, right? 4 to the right, design table. You click on it and read this thing carefully. You can create a design table from a pre-existing file. Now, this is not what I'm doing this year. Okay? Create a design table with current parameter values. That's the one that we want. You select it, and then we say okay. It's going to come back and say, okay, what do you want to put in those in that design table as heading? What are the headings? Like, what do I mean by heading? I mean these guys. What do you want to put in there? Well, I know what I want to do that. I know what I want to put up there because I renamed it for that same reason. So I'm going to say rename. Show me the renamed one. And you select the order that you want. You can change these orders later on if you wanted to. But right now, I'm going to do it like this, X, Y, R, and T. So X goes to the right. I want this thing to go into my design table. Y goes to the right. Y goes there. R goes there. And T goes there also. Okay, so in my design table, Excel spreadsheet, these are the headings. Otherwise, you get those ugly names up there, which I don't want. Those long names, which gives you the entire path all the way to the sketch. So if you're asked to do the design table, you have to submit not only your part, but also, if it's a single part, also the part and your Excel spreadsheet. Otherwise, we can mark it. Now, notice what happened here. First of all, if I say apply, this will resize, and it won't resize because I already changed the numbers. Now notice that here, it created the table for me. And if you so go and say edit the table, that Excel sheet opens up right there. You see this? This thing shows up. And these are the numbers that I used. But look at what we wanted. We wanted to have these additional 551.5, okay? 551.5. And then 330.5 and 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's start adding. So 5, 5, 1, 0.5, And then the next one is 3, 3, 0.5, and 2. Well, you can add anything you want, but that's all I wanted. Now, you have to say save. You have to say save and close this. Save and close it. Without closing it, you can't proceed any further. It's going to come back and say, hey, you made some changes. We're synchronizing it. We said, fine, no problem. Okay, here, look what happened. So my spreadsheet looks like this now. Okay, this is the first row. If I select the second row and say apply, there's a second row. Third row, apply. There's a third row. Now let me go to the edit table and I will add some row that will really ruin it. Okay, so for example, this is fine, 3 and 3, no problem. If I make the radius 2, okay, if I make the radius 2 and the height t, let's say 2, this is going to ruin the party. See? You see why? Save this, close it. It says this is being synchronized. Fine. This, if I go to the last row, it's going to be a disaster. I go to the last row and I say apply. Oh, maybe that's okay. That's let me see now, 2 inch and 2 inch. Oh yeah, it ruined it. Look, this is supposed to be the circle. It's supposed to be inside. This is now outside. The moral of the story is that in this problem, it didn't give us self-intersecting sketch, but it's not the geometry that you want. Okay, let's do one that hopefully will destroy it. So let's go add another one. Let me make this thing x of 3. I'm going to try to make it really. Let me make this thing short. Let me make this thing 3. Leave it like that, and 3, and radius 2, and make a height of 1, so they barely touch on the top. So we say save and close. It's going to synchronize, and if you go to the last row, this will touch that, and I hope that it will destroy it. Yeah, right there. You can't add this. All right, folks, so this takes care of the first activity.